Welcome to SPIRO-Paranormal's next podcast.
Wow.
There's backstory to it. You'll have to watch the blooper reels later. But I am J.R. Farnsworth, and this is...
I am John Bret. No, I'm not. I'm Bret Yost.
You're Bret Yost.
You're Bret Yost?
Yep.
Well, then who am I?
You would be John Bryan.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm Mr. Bryan, Mr. John Bryan.
Mr. John Bryan.
John the Amazing.
Author of...
the author of Ghosts of Pocatello.
Oh, did you write a book, really?
I did. I wrote a book.
You wrote a book.
I didn't know that.
We're in the process of writing another book, actually.
Oh, yeah?
A couple. Yeah.
You're part of it, too.
Actually, yes. Yes, right.
Will I get some royalties from having my name in there?
If you can get your stuff done.
You can write your stories.
Okay.
That's right.
Get them in there.
And
Okay.
we're talking ghost stories, not your stories about you when you go out at night.
Fighting fires.
Not his Austin Powers days.
No, not
No,
his.
we will not write about my Austin Powers.
That's another podcast altogether.
Yeah, baby.
Hey, we should do a podcast about that later on. Wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
All right.
All right. Anyway, we should talk about a different subject.
Yeah, I don't know, but
That's
you
right.
know, the thing is we never stay on topic, and it really just gives me some grievances.
You have some grievances?
Already?
You know, I think there's a holiday for
I
that.
need to get a poll.
If there were only a way we could air our grievances,
And have a poll.
Yes.
A little poll
Yes,
this
an
morning.
aluminum pole, air
Huh.
grievances, and then feats of strength.
Yeah.
huh?
So,
This
you know, I
this
think I've
sounds
actually
familiar,
heard of a
fellas.
holiday. She was on that show with George Costanza and Kramer was on there.
Yeah.
What's the
someone-
guy's name?
George.
and someone you liken to a famous comedian that had his own show for 9 years.
Jerry.
Lewis? No.
not Lewis.
Jerry.
I bet you it's
What's the
Seinfeld.
deal?
Seinfeld.
Jerry Seinfeld.
What's
that's
the
right.
deal with Jerry
What's
Seinfeld?
the deal up with?
What's the deal? I don't know. That's right, folks. We're going to be talking about Festivus.
For the rest of us.
That's right.
That's correct.
December 23rd is literally tomorrow from when we're filming this. So we felt it was a great opportunity for us to talk about one of our favorite, we don't want to call it made up holidays, even though it was made up for the show. But I believe I've actually heard of people actually do this now because of...
Well, yeah, I think that it is. It's taken on a life of its own. And,
Absolutely.
I mean, we do it in our own way, I guess.
We really do, and I think our family hates us for it. But at the same time,
that's cool. I mean,
that's half the fun.
they hate us for a lot of different reasons.
You know, but
This is just one of them.
it really is, yeah.
You know, there's all sorts of holidays for the, you know, during this time. So,
Right.
you know,
Just-
part of Festivus for the rest of us is doing what? Airing our grievances.
Right.
That's right.
But
Okay.
let's get into the background. We need to get into the background of Festivus before we get what it is.
Okay,
So-
give us the back.
Okay, so I just watched this episode. I think it was on yesterday, if I remember right. And so it's kind of fresh in my mind, and I will watch it again tomorrow because it's the 23rd, and I have it on DVD.
Right.
So do I.
But it was on TV yesterday.
So if you want to go over, you can watch it with me.
Remember when we did that for Thanksgiving? Or no,
Yeah.
that was,
Yeah, it was Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Okay. That was, yeah, watch it on your own. But, so, so we're gonna take you a little backstory. This episode of Seinfeld is called The Strike. And it's centered around, first of all, Kramer gets called back to work to a bagel company he worked for 12 years ago. They went on strike because they weren't getting paid enough. And within that, of course, Kramer gets called back to work because they, quote, met the wage requirements, which at the time was $5.35 an hour, i.e. minimum wage that year.
Yep.
And so they make a point to mention that. But the subtext of that episode, obviously, there's George giving out his donations were made in your name to the Human Fund to fund all of his coworkers, right? And then, of course, our topic of the day, Festivus. Now, we learned from George's father, remember his name?
No, I don't.
George Costanza.
No.
George's father.
George's father.
It's like completely slipping my mind at the moment here.
Oh, yeah.
Frank Costanza.
Frank Costanza.
Yes.
There you go.
So Kramer was curious about it because it kind of came up in a conversation with Jerry and George and Elaine and Kramer. And Kramer was very curious about this holiday that Frank Costanza had made up. So he goes to Frank and he asks him, Frank, tell me more about Festivus. And Frank says, all right. So here I was, reaching for a doll.
Yeah,
and another person reached for the same doll.
They have a fade back, right? I remember.
No, they don't have a fade back.
Nope. Okay.
But and he cuts to, and when I was raining down blows upon him, I realized, what was this all for, or something to that effect. And he realized that Christmas was just a horrible time of year. It was greedy. Mm-hmm. And of course he
commercialized.
And Kramer asked him, what'd you beat him with? And he used the same doll. And Kramer says, well, that's a shame. So here he is getting a doll for his son. Yeah. That turns out to be a girl doll too. I just caught that reference yesterday when I was watching the episode. It's not even like an action figure. It's actually literally a doll of some sort. And so, Frank invents this holiday called Festivus. So if you haven't seen that episode, there's kind of a summary for you.
Go watch it.
Please do. And then if you guys, if you want to talk a little bit more about what the holiday entails, why it scratched Kramer where he was itching, go right ahead.
Go ahead, John.
Or I can if you don't.
Well, there's 3 parts to it. You get together, you eat, and there is feats of strength, airing your grievances, and
the aluminum pole.
Mm-hmm.
Because he finds tinsel distracting.
That's right.
Yes.
He finds tinsel distracting.
So it's just
he needs all 3 of those, and so they put the pole up. And don't they do something with the pole? I mean,
no, they just literally put the pole up instead of a tree.
Instead of a tree, it's just a pole.
Just a pole.
Yeah.
Pole.
And no
decorations necessary.
Right. And then they do dinner, and that's where they air the grievances.
Yeah, they air the grievances. Mm-hmm. And I remember him saying, let me tell you guys, I got a lot of problems with you guys, or something like that. Yeah. And he starts, okay, so I think that we should go ahead and air grievances.
I'll let you air your first one.
Oh, man. Where do I start?
And I guess it doesn't have to be about us here, but what were your grievances about 2019?
2019. What a freaking year. It both high notes and low notes. There's so many great things that happened. For instance, my youngest son, he turned 21. He's officially an adult type thing, which was awesome. That was a proud papa moment there, that kind of thing. And then there's the lows of, just being exhausted from work, the stress of worries of, are we going to make our goals, etc., that sort of thing. You just, there's so many different lows. I don't want to get too personal, so to speak, but enough challenges for me in 2019 as well, and also like friends of mine too that just really went through some stuff this year, and I was like, overall everything I'm hearing, 2019 sucked for a lot of people. Yeah. And so 2019, I got a lot of problems with you.
Okay,
but I'm not gonna get into details. But I challenge you to feats of strength anytime.
So, for 2019, for me, I'm with Bret. There was a bunch of great things that happened.
Had some good stuff
I had some good stuff happen in 2019. But
Chief.
There is also a lot of other stuff that I have problems with. This has been irking me all year long, and I'm seeing it over and over. And that is... No, it's not John, sorry.
Oh, crap, that's not what you told me.
It is the divisiveness of our country's divided right now. I see communities divided right now. Sorry. I'm getting a little fired up here.
Don't get fired up, Fireman Bob.
Another Seinfeld moment. Serenity now.
Serenity now.
Okay. Serenity now.
Or Hoochie Mama.
But there is so much we can accomplish as a human race if we pull together.
Right.
But being divided as we are and only looking out for our self-interest is going to do nobody any good. And so that is my grievance for 2019, is that we need to turn this around, and we need to start helping our neighbors and start working together to make this country great again.
Vote Farnsworth Yost 2020.
What about me?
You can be Secretary of the
Interior.
Yeah. I.e. janitor.
I would be the president. You know that I'm always the top. I'm the top leader in everything I do, so president.
We'll let him think he's the president.
That's how a good leader does, is they let the other people.
But no, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna be president, but I'm gonna have 2 co-vice presidents.
I don't think that's in the
Brian
Constitution.
Yost, what's going to be? It's going to be.
Good.
We're starting our own country.
So you can either vote Farnsworth Yost, or you can vote his way.
Brian.
But remember what's within the realms of the Constitution.
Right.
There you go.
Okay,
Are you
So, off topic.
Or
Grievances.
say more?
Let's get to your grievances.
Okay, so I'm gonna continue kind of the same thing you did, but I'm gonna say it in a little bit different way. I think that my biggest grievances was, did we hit bottom this year? I mean, culturally, spiritually, I mean, everything in this country.
Very much on the path to idiocracy.
I mean, this was a pretty bad year.
That's a great movie.
This was a pretty bad year.
We've talked about it before.
I think that we're not going to talk politics here, but I think we've gone about as low as we can go.
I hope, because we need to start going up.
Media again. What movies? I mean, what is going on with our culture? I mean, are we that bankrupt? I mean, Hollywood. The only reason that the Marvel movies have done as well as they have is because they're the only thing original. That's it.
They're still based on a comic book that's existed for years.
Exactly, but they're coming from material that hasn't been used in movies before.
And there's our Disney sponsorship now too.
Yep.
Yeah, screw Disney.
Bye Disney, sorry.
But I mean, do you have a lot of hope for the future Marvel movies?
The
I don't.
The
I think
opinions
they.
of John
I think
Ryan
they
do not necessarily reflect the
And they're
that of
gonna go down.
Spiro-Paranormal or Bret Yost or J.R.
There you go.
Farnsworth.
Sorry. And music. I mean, what music came out in 2019 that was any
Popular music,
popular?
horrible.
Is there even a single song you could think of that came out this year that
Popular, no.
No.
is like, oh wow, that's a cool song?
I could look at my playlist of artists that I listened to growing up that had put stuff out in 2019. I'd be very happy with it, but it's not radio-friendly pop, whatever you want to call that.
Right.
And so,
But-
but the talent pool sucks.
But let's also go the opposite way. I also believe that 2019 is a turning point. I think that maybe the pendulum has reached its maximum to wherever we were going, and we're going to start headed back the other way. I really do believe that, and I think I'm going to bring up probably the biggest point of hope that we have as far as like culture and that would be the movie Joker. Probably one of the best movies that's come out in the past decade, in my opinion, and it was incredible. And I think that with the success of Joker, we're going to see more and more studios head that way. And 2020, not that it's going to be a perfect year. I mean, we've got a lot of stuff to look forward to in 2020. Wonder Woman 1984 looks incredible. Ghostbusters Afterlife, we have a podcast on that. Looks incredible. I mean, we've got some really great things coming up that I think that are going to make 2020 that year where we're headed down that other side and we're headed back to normality. Not that we're ever going to get there, but I think that we have a lot to look forward to, and that's what I have to say.
There you go. So our episode took a serious turn because our point was to be very funny and talk about Seinfeld's Festivus. So let's bring it back to fun.
Okay.
Yes. So what's our feats of strength?
So what are our feats of strength? See, that's something they never delve into in the show. So when they listen to the audio recording of Festivus from one year when George was younger, you only hear Frank get George and like, no, Dad, no, that kind of thing. So whatever the feats of strength were, it's still a mystery.
So what would be your feat of strength to show everybody?
Well, I would say probably... Oh, boy, that's actually not as easy as one would think.
Maybe change a battery in your car?
No, because we know how that goes for you. You end up dropping the car off the freaking jack onto the ground. So
who the heck puts the battery behind the tire?
And then who does he call?
Dodge, apparently.
And then who does he call?
You, because you are better at that kind of stuff. But anyway, I don't know how this is necessary. John, seriously, when someone comes in asking for an air freshener, you don't ask for the make and model, okay?
You don't need to.
You don't need to.
Whatever.
Okay. So anyhow,
these are old stories. Sorry.
But I digest. So here we are once again. Off topic. But anyways, feats of strength. If it's going to be a literal feat, I just spit everywhere. Sorry. Thank goodness for the spit guards. A feat of strength. I would say just a good old-fashioned throwdown, melee, wrestling.
I like to see you do an elbow drop.
Oh, Macho Man style, dude.
Yeah,
All the way.
I would love to see that feat of strength from you. Just down on him.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Wow. So,
Rest in peace, Randy.
feat of strength for Jared.
My feat of strength,
Mm-hmm.
you know, my feat of strength, and I would put either one you two up against me on this, is handling a 2.5 inch hand line off a fire truck.
Okay, see, that's cheating.
That is cheating.
Because this is what my career
This is what I do.
Okay, my feat of strength is I dare you to run a hotel. And
I
actually
can do that,
keep your
actually.
sanity.
I
There you
can do that.
Oh, yeah, that's what you think. All right. Anyway.
No, seriously. I
Oh, okay.
mean,
Okay, no, that's fair. I got you.
you watch some people try to handle a 2.5 hose line. And
There's a joke right there that I'm not going to go
I
into.
was going to say it
because this is
myself.
a family show.
PG, guys, PG.
Uh-huh.
PG.
Although all that stuff before we started filming was a whole nother. Anyway, so back to John.
So,
Feats of
what
strength.
would your feat of strength be?
The odor of his
Are we ever
feet.
gonna? You know how like they had all the superhero movies. They're all like PG-13. Then they went R, and the ratings went way up.
Uh-huh.
You ever thought we should try that?
Doing an R-rated podcast? I don't know.
We might be better at it. I don't know. Anyways, my feat of strength.
We aren't going to do an R-rated podcast as much as we would like to. Maybe we will have. Maybe we'll call
That's
it.
gonna
Maybe
be-
we'll call it Spyro Podcast After Dark.
Okay, this is
We'll
my,
just call it the blooper reels.
this is my feat of strength. Carrying
Put over.
all of our ghost hunting equipment up a gigantic flight of stairs, getting it to the top,
Done
getting
that.
everything set up, and then taking it all down, putting away right, not just throwing things around.
Right means
Yeah.
his way.
His way is
Yeah.
the only way.
So that
Yes.
things are together and you don't lose things, and then getting
No.
it all back.
And before we did this podcast, did
Uh-huh.
I not hear, where's this, where's that, where's this?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm going to play devil's advocate.
Yeah,
here.
because I didn't put it away.
Because 90% of the time when we're done with an investigation, hey, look, we finally turned our paranormal podcast into something about our paranormal.
Yeah,
stuff.
about ghost hunting.
But anyhow, this was our fun one. And
Yes.
here we are still talking, Mark. Anyway, when our investigation's done, we are like ready to get the
Yeah, 'cause
hell
we're
out
tired.
of Dodge. We're tired.
It's 11 o'clock at night.
Or later.
Or
We're
later.
tired. We're hungry. We want to get to Denny's and eat something. And
Yeah.
get home, go to bed. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
And so a lot of
So
times
stuff gets thrown.
people get thrown.
Yeah.
Guess who gets to organize that all over again?
Lisa, because you're not home.
Me. Because she doesn't do it when I'm not home.
Well, if somebody would
When-
tell
you know-
me,
you know when it gets
if
reorganized?
somebody would tell me which one's the blue suitcase and which one's the black suitcase.
If only
You
those,
got to read the labels.
if only they were labeled correctly.
Yes.
If only.
Although one of those suitcases we need to replace because the handle's broken.
Yes,
That's kind
we
of
need to
annoying.
do that. But my only
Plus, we
point,
need to
my only
recase
point
some
is
things.
this:
So if anybody's got some extra suitcases,
do you know when our equipment gets reorganized?
When John's
when
home.
John's home.
A couple of hours before the next investigation,
Uh-huh.
because that's when I start plugging everything in, and that's when I get in. And
This
I'm
isn't a
like,
feat of strength. This is an airing of grievance.
Oh, it's a
It's an
feat of
area
This
of
is
grievance.
big time
Right.
area of
This is an
grievance.
airing grievance and a feat of strength. because
Lisa, we didn't put him up to this. I'm
it is
sorry.
a feat of
This is
strength
all
not
him.
to go out and strangle people.
Uh-huh.
Well, we appreciate all your work,
There you
John.
go.
New Year's resolution for 2020 is perhaps our cases, instead of Sharpies, we should get like a label maker and label.
I actually have a
I agree.
label
I
maker.
agree with
That
that.
wouldn't work.
I agree with that. What
You know,
we
that
need to do
specifically doesn't just say recording equipment,
Yes.
but it says.
because at one
Blue.
time we did do that, but then as the cases broke, and the other thing too is I need to get new boxes for the security system because
Yes.
we have our security cameras on boxes on little wooden boxes
Yeah,
so they
those-
stand upright.
And
They need
they're-
to-
I need to redo that. I do need to do that.
So, we'll take donations to help fund all this.
Yeah, sure,
Yeah.
sure. Just send them. People can send money to me on PayPal, and
Venmo.
I'll just take care of it.
I'd like to point out I am not asking for any money for this.
I'll point out it's my job to ask for money all the time.
Can you ask for the Fire Association if they want to raise some money for us?
Sure.
Like a Man of the
No.
North Bannock County
No.
Fire District calendar.
When are we doing?
Wow,
I thought we were
we were
going to
off topic
do a
again.
No,
spiral.
wait.
All right.
When are we doing this, Bret, John, and maybe JR calendar, the Men of Spyro calendar.
Well, let's think here. Okay, we're going to be, obviously we have shifted from freaking Festivus completely and lost all control of the show. So let's
It
just
happens every time.
Wait,
It
what
happens
was-
every time.
Last night we had a party, a family party, and Brett and I did the most, what was our skit called?
the most pointless sketch ever.
The most point sketch ever. I
Or
think
skit ever.
this might be the most pointless
Podcast
Spyro podcast ever. We didn't even talk about ghosts.
Nope, but we did talk shop. We worked it into the conversation.
Yeah, we did.
With our investigations.
Yeah.
But
Check that box.
So maybe we could put a little poll on this post underneath on Facebook.
Yeah.
Would you like to see a Men of Spyro calendar? Yes or no?
Who would buy
And then
that?
who gets what month?
Well, July. We're gonna have to share July since that's both of us. We both have birthdays that month.
I guess I get
We
you.
could do it. We could do a together picture.
I'm
I
gonna
think
do
that's
June
fair.
and August myself because June is my birthday and August is the hottest month.
You're the hottest. Never mind.
So I can be December because I keep my wife warm.
How did that?
Just go with it. Just go with it.
I apologize for that one.
Sorry, Chrissy.
Wow.
I have
So-
to rethink how I was saying that. So
How? I don't know. This is definitely the most out of control podcast we've done so far. This is literally this is our conversations when we're not on
Yes.
camera. Okay,
Yeah,
so this, you're getting to see behind the scenes, so to speak, here. And I just don't know what the hell we're doing. But if you'd like to see a Men of Spyro, now I'm going to tell you this: some of the girls in our group are against this idea, not because it's sexist or anything like that,
Yeah.
but because somehow they're threatened by all this
This?
manhood right here.
Right here.
I mean, this is intimidating.
Well, I mean, but the reason why we're talking about this is we're coming close to a new year.
Right.
And what do you do during the new year? You get a brand new calendar. At least I do every year. Not that I use it, but I get
I do
it.
at work all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, who wouldn't want the Men of Spyro calendar adorning
I-
their walls?
I think of all
So
the people
we're gonna
that
put
come
the
on our
poll.
tours.
We're gonna put the poll up
Yeah.
there. Check yes.
Yeah. I think
No.
we'll add the poll for real, dude. I think that'd be funny.
I think we should.
Yeah.
Definitely, it's easy. Just add it on there. Check
Sure.
yes.
Yep.
I guess.
If you want to see all the sexiness,
And I'm talking to you, Jeff Young. You better not mark no, because you're going to be part of it.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna Photoshop you in.
Yeah, whether you like it or not. So, well, it's been a great Festivus Eve, hasn't it? Here it is. December
any
22nd.
last grievances before we leave?
I think if we start more grievances, we're never going to get out of here.
I agree
I
with
think
you.
so.
Yeah,
So-
I'm kind of hungry and I'd like to eat some
So,
dinner.
so we
Tonight.
encourage you, our listeners, to
That's right.
actually put down your grievances of 2019. We welcome that.
Or your grievances about this episode in general.
Yes.
Because I got a lot.
Or your grievances about Brett.
Yeah, just put whatever you want down there. You can go do it on our Facebook at SPIRO-Paranormal, or you go to our website at spiro-paranormal.com.
You forgot the www dot.
The www dot.
Dot. No, come on.
It's a
You
World
gotta put
Wide
the
Web.
emphasis on the dot.
Okay, www.spiro-paranormal.com.
There you go.
You just blew out somebody's eardrums. Thanks,
Sorry.
man.
It's all right.
Those
We'll get over
mine.
it. So, thank you for watching,
We appreciate you.
And everybody have a scary night.
and the Festivus for the rest of us.